Hello and welcome to our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodio. Kennywood actress Rahama Saudao has been appointed by the Office of the Vice President Kashim Shettima. She is to serve on the Technical Committee of the Investment in the Digital and Creative Enterprise Program, IDICE. Rahama and other appointees were inaugurated into the committee by Vice President Shettima. The Technical Committee on the IDICE program is chaired by the Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters, Office of the Vice President, Tokpe Kolade Faswa. The House of Representatives has extended the resumption of plenary from April 16 to 23, 2024 to allow for the completion of the ongoing renovations in the chamber. Clerk of the House, Dr. Yaya Danzaria, who announced this, says the extension is to allow for the completion of the renovations to the Green Chamber for its readiness for plenary sessions. Henceforth, the House had adjourned plenary on March 20th to April 16 to apparently enable members participate in the Easter and Ramadan festivities. The Benue State Independent Electoral Commission, BESEC, on Friday announced that elections would be conducted into the councils of 23 local government areas of the state on July 6, 2023. Chairman of BESEC, Dr. John Chen, who alongside his team were inaugurated into office by Governor Hyacinth Alia on March 29, 2024, made the disclosure during a stakeholders meeting held in Makurdi, the state capital, to unveil action plans as well as activities lined up towards the exercise. Chen says the elections would be conducted for chairman and councillors into the local government councils and council wards, including the expected newly created council wards in the state. He says the move followed the governor's charge that the commission should quickly swing into action and kickstart the processes and procedures aimed at conducting free, fair, and credible elections in the state. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana has called for fine-tuned policies to guide the implementation of the state police system in the country. Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, also justified the creation of state police across the federation. The lawyer says we must go back, Nigeria must go back to the provisions of the Constitution, adding that it is unusual in the federation to have federal government police and state police, but again, we had to go back to the drawing board to fine-tune the policies before the state police. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has debunked a purported list of caretaker committee members circulating on social media and published in some national dailies. The Rivers State Governor, Sasim Fubara, who revealed this after a meeting with the NWC at the National Secretariat, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, restated that the resolutions of a meeting held between the NWC and members of the Board of Trustees and the PDP Governors Forum in Abuja in March on the issue remain valid. Governor Fubara emphasized that the party stands on the agreement reached on the issue as encapsulated in the letter by the NWC to the state chairman of the PDP dated March 27th, adding that no amount of intimidation, clandestine moves, wasteful lobbying, and needless expenditure of public funds will change the position already taken. The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, has expressed concern over the overcrowded Medium Custodial Center in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital. FIDA described a situation where a prison facility originally designed for 600 inmates but has exceeded its capacity to 1,715 as an invitation to humanitarian crisis if not urgently addressed. The state's branch president, Barrister Ikwo Abia Esquire, in collaboration with the Medical Women Association of Nigeria and the Youth Alive Foundation leadership, gathered toward the prison facility and took time to engage with the inmates, especially the women convicts. The FIDA leader, who decried the condition and welfare of the inmates, frowned at the conjecture and assured that her group was ready to cooperate with the prison authorities with a view to decongest the facility to avoid humanitarian tragedy. In order to further strengthen the reporting system of discrimination against persons with disabilities at airports, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the Center for Ability Rehabilitation and Empowerment, is establishing the Disability Desk to address issues of discrimination emanating from air travels. Fauza Lukman has details.
The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities have approved the deployment of its commission staff for disability desks at local and international airports across the country for easier access to persons with disabilities, while handing over some assistance devices and operational guidelines for aviation accessibility project for persons with disabilities. Founder of the Center for Ability Rehabilitation and Empowerment, Dr. Chike Okogu, appealed to the federal government to establish service desks in all local and international airports, as well as increasing the budgetary allocation for the commission.
Beyond this project, funding is important for the lives of persons with disabilities. Please, Mr. President, we are begging. We persons with disabilities are not beggars, but we are now saying, we're using the word please, sir, in the midterm budgetary allocation. Can we have at least 1 trillion naira for persons with disabilities? Yes, it is international standards.
Dr. James Lalu, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, in his response, expressed commitment to deploy manpower that would ensure sustainability of the project.
Based on the powers vested in us to protect the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities, we are going to dig deeper with KFC to find out the root cause of this problem, and we must review all their policies and make sure that they align with the provisions of the law and the regulations that are here in Nigeria for the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities. Today, we are taking over a project by chairs where we made the initial commitment for the sustainability of this project. The National Commission for Persons with Disabilities will deploy our personnel into the Nigeria airport to provide the necessary support for persons with disabilities.
The ES further appealed to the airport authority to secure an appropriate space where its staff can train to provide support for easy movement of persons with disability. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The General of Police Olukayode Egbetokun has approved the promotion of 10,581 deserving junior officers of the Inspectorate Cadre and the rank and file. The Force Public Relations Officer Olumu Yuwa Adejobi made the development known in a statement. Adejobi said the Inspector General of Police Olukayode Egbetokun has authorized the promotion of 10,881 deserving junior officers of the Inspectorate Cadre and the rank and file. In line with this directive, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, overseeing the Department of Finance and Administration, has been tasked with coordinating efforts alongside the Commissioner of Police to commence the promotion process promptly. The IG, while emphasizing the zeal of the force leadership to foster a culture of meritocracy and career advancement, reiterated the pivotal role of timely promotions in enhancing the morale of officers and boosting the overall effectiveness of the force. The Nigerian Police Force further congratulated all officers slated for promotion and urged them to uphold the highest standards of professionalism, integrity, and service to the nation. The largest ever global deployment of cholera rapid diagnostic test got underway on Friday, the World Health Organization and its partners said, boosting the fight against surging infections. Malawi received the initial shipment of test kits, kicking off a global diagnostic program aimed to speed up the detection of outbreaks. In total, more than 1.2 million tests will be distributed to 14 high-risk countries over the coming months, the United Nations Health Agency said in a statement. The program is a joint venture with the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, handling funding and coordination, and the United Nations Children's Agency taking care of the procurement. You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When NewSecure returns, the NEC slams 200 million naira fine on AEDC over violation and directs refunds to consumers. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, rail services were hit in large parts of the UK, including key tourist routes, as train drivers launched a new strike amid cost of living pressures and decades of high inflation. Members of the ASLEF union representing train drivers are taking part in a 3-day rolling strike, which also affects express services to London's Gatwick, Stansted and the Heathrow Airport. Union Chief Mick Whelan blamed the industrial action on the cost of living crisis created by the economic ineptitude of the Tories conservatives that have been in power for 14 years. ASLEF Chief Whelan, speaking in front of striking drivers at London's Euston station, said that offer from last April would never be accepted by members, describing it as ridiculous and a land grab for all the terms and conditions that were negotiated over the years. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio says the drug abuse in the country was a national emergency, outlining plans to combat a synthetic drug popular with young people. A task force, including government agencies and NGOs, would be responsible for prevention, treatment, social services support, law enforcement, and community engagement. Bio also says his government was working to take down drug trafficking networks. In business, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NADA, has distributed essential agricultural input to farmers in Abia, Kebbi, and Yobe states. The initiative is part of a broader effort to advance the federal government's food security agenda and assist farmers nationwide in maximizing crop cultivation, thereby improving yields and boosting food production. The empowerment program has seen the distribution of fertilizers, herbicides, and improved seeds such as maize to farmers in Abia and Yobe, and rice to those in Kebbi, which are expected to cover half a hectare of farmland for each farmer. The distribution went in Abia was held at the NADA Institute of Agribusiness and Entrepreneurship, where beneficiaries from all local governments, including those nominated by the state government and various farmers associations, received their packages. Executive Secretary of NADA, Prince Paul Ikone, who led the distribution, emphasized the program's importance and assured of continued support to the farmers. The scheduled arraignment of Binance Holdings Limited and two of its executives for alleged tax evasion was stalled over a complaint that one of the executives had not been served with the charge sheet. Counsel for the Federal Inland Revenue Service, which is prosecuting the case, Moses Ide, told the court that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission denied the court bailiff access to the detained Binance executive. The two executives charged alongside the firm are the Tigran Kabayan and Nadim Ajawala, who escaped from the custody of the National Security Advisor and is currently on the run. The FIS lawyer, Ide, says the bailiff was unable to serve the charge sheet on Gabayan, who was in custody of the EFCC. He therefore made an oral charge sheet on Gabayan in the courtroom through his lawyer, Chukwuka Ikwazo SAN. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, has slammed a fine of 200 million naira on the Abuja Electricity Distribution PLC over the DISCO's non-compliance with the supplementary order to the April 2024 multi-year tariff order 2024 for power distribution companies. NEC disclosed this enforcement action against AEDC in a letter to its acting managing director, Victor Ojelabi, dated April 5, 2024. According to the letter, AEDC was fined for the flagrant breach of the Commission's order for failing to comply with the prescribed customer band classifications for the tariff billing. The Commission said this decision followed a detailed review and customer feedback, which revealed that the AEDC had applied the new tariff of 225 naira per kilowatts an hour to all customer bands, contrary to the order, which was designed to ensure fair billing practices. The Commission also mandated the AEDC to reimburse through the provision of the balance of customer tokens that the affected customers would be entitled to receive at the applicable rates, and all token reimbursement shall be issued to the affected customers by April 11, 2024. The DISCOs is also required to pay the 200 million naira fine and file evidence of compliance with the directives with the Commission by April 12, 2024. NEC said this action underscored its commitment to protecting consumer rights and ensuring equitable practice within Nigeria's electricity sector. Imports of raw materials into the country rose by 25% to 3 trillion naira in 2023. This is according to the foreign trade statistics data published by the National Bureau of Statistics. The major raw materials imported during the period included was sugarcane, other lubricating oil meant to be mixed further, preparations of milk containing vegetable fat and oil, mixtures of odorous substances, sheets for veneering, and among others. The Chief Executive Officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, linked the increase in raw materials imports in naira terms to the depreciation of the naira. In the last few years, manufacturers had lamented that over-reliance on imported raw materials had been an albatross on the real sector of the economy. During the annual general meeting of the Apapa branch of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, immediate past man President Mansour Ahmed said the excessive reliance on imported raw materials had significantly weakened the Nigerian manufacturing sector. Mansour recommended a public-private partnership amid to encourage the backward integration, import substitution, and other measures that would curb excessive import of raw materials. On the entertainment scene, husband of popular singer Mercy Chinwo, Pastor Blessed Uzochikwa, has filed a direct criminal complaint against 5 persons for criminal defamation through his lawyer, led by Pelumi Olajegbesi Esquire. Consequently, a Chief Magistrate Court in Wuse Zone 2, Abuja, has summoned the 5 social media users for the criminal defamation of the reputation of gospel singer Mercy Chinwo and her husband, Blessed Uzochikwa. Mercy Chinwo's husband said the alleged act of criminal defamation was carried out through deliberate circulation of injurious falsehood, cyberbullying, and cyber stalking. The 5 defendants are Okoronkwo Ejike, Kingsley Ibe, DJ Sport Kid, Terence Eckert, and Samuel Agozi, and they are to appear before the court on April 23, 2024. In sport, Kwara State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has promised increased involvement in sport events as part of efforts to wage war against drug abuse and child trafficking. NDLEA's Kwara Commandant Bashir Ibrahim made the promise in a lorry when members of the state chapter of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, paid him a courtesy visit. The commandant says the decision had become necessary because of the recent challenges faced in policing drug traffickers in the state. Speaking on the danger it poses to sport, and the commander noted that youths were particularly vulnerable to drug abuse. The Kwara Swan chairman Ayodeji Ismail, while speaking, said sports writers were aware of the dangers the menace had continued to pose to sports and youth development. After a long wait, the Super Falcons and the Banyana will face off today, as both countries are currently facing up for a spot in the women's football event at the 2024 Olympic Games ticket in Paris. Nigeria and South Africa, arguably the two best women's football squad in Africa, clash in two-legged affair as they battle for one of the two tickets from Africa for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The first of the two matches will take place today at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja, followed by the second contest Tuesday night in Pretoria. Today's clash is said to be one of the most mouth-watering clashes in African women's football. Speaking ahead of the game, Falcons captain Rasheedat Ajibade says the team was determined to put an end to the long wait. And wrapping it up, three-time African Games champion and world record holder in women's 400 meters hurdles, Tobi Amosun, will begin her Wonder Diamond League season in Xiamen on April 20th. Amosun has been listed among the 12 Olympic gold medalists and 27 world champions who will light up this spectacular Igret Stadium in Xiamen. The 26-year-old will face three reigning global champions in the sprint hurdles. That's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.